Hey everybody, this is Rebecca TOTILO with the Aroma Hut Institute, and today I want to talk about the Wheel of Fragrance, their categories, and how to make our vertical blends in each of those categories. So stay tuned. Well, if you've been looking at books or online for information about how to build a perfume, then you probably haven't found quite a lot of information about the different categories. I don't know, when I was doing my research, I had a hard time finding information. But when we look at essential oils, they are categorized into 4 major groups, and these are aromatic groups. So you have the fresh green category, the floral category, oriental, and the woody. Now within these 4 categories, it's broken up into 14 families of smaller categories, and this was formulated by Michael Edwards, who wrote a book called Fragrances of the World. And so since that time, since he's a consultant in the fragrance industry in showing the relationship between each individual family of aroma. And so in his wheel that you can see here, it's very consistent with showing how each family leads into the next. And so this helps you in your blending, doing a lot of different combinations and come up with all kinds of different notes and accords that can fall in those categories. So for instance, in the categories, you'll find that florals lead into soft florals when blended with sparkling aldehydes or balanced with that powdery dry down. Soft florals are transformed into floral accords or orientals by just adding some scent of maybe orange blossom or some other sweet spices. In this video, I talked about making a vertical accord. Some of you mentioned that you hadn't even heard of that. Yes, when you're talking about perfumes, there is the horizontal accords and there's the vertical. So this video, I want to actually make some of those with you. So we're going to do the vertical accords. And what I did was I went to Old Time Pottery and I got some shot glasses. They had like a package of 6. And so I bought several packs of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3 of these in different ratios because I wanted to see which ratio I like the best. Now in that last video of the blending by vertical accord, or making your blends by that, I talked about the different ratios. So in the book, you're going to see the blending by note technique in there. This is actually from my book, Natural Perfume with Essential Oil. And I'm going to just let you guys know, if you're following along, in the chapter that I'm talking about is 136. This chapter 8 on the Wheel of Fragrance. This shows you a breakdown of all the essential oils in each group and category. So I just break it down for you, make it so easy. So all you have to do is choose your top note, your middle note, and your bottom note or your base note for this particular blend. Now I decided there's quite a few groups here. You can see that we have our floral, oriental, soft oriental, then it goes into the woodies. So it goes to the woody notes, the woody oriental, the mossy woods, the dry woods, and then it comes into the fresh notes, which is your citrus, green, water, and then it comes up into the floral notes of your floral, soft floral, and then back to the top, which is the floral oriental. Now in the middle, we have the fougere, or the aromatic group, which is a combination of all the categories together because they all seem to cross over and create a wonderful combination. So in this one, I went to the chart on woody in the book, and I'm going to choose from here a top note. I've gone through this list and there's quite a few choices, and again, this is the first time I'm making this one, so don't know what it's going to end up smelling like, but I decided to go with a basil for my top note, and in the middle I'm going to use black pepper. And for the base note, I've chosen sandalwood. So those are the 3 notes. Now what I'm going to do in my first blend is I'm going to be adding in, let's see, we have our pipette ready, but let me go ahead. I'm going to start with the base note of sandalwood, and I'm going to be blending by note in my first one. So I'm going to be using 6 top note, 4 drops of middle note, and 2 drops of base note. So I'm going to do 2 drops of my base note, 4 drops of my middle note, and 6 drops of my top note, which is basil. Okay. So let's just stir it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and place a couple of drops on my strip. Wow, that's powerful. Very, very powerful. The basil's amazing. This would make a nice men's fragrance, actually. Wow. Okay, so that's 6, 4, 2, and I'm gonna let that dry down over here. And now I'm gonna move this aside. Now I wanna try making a blend with the ratios 40, 30, 30. So this one means I'm going to be using 3 drops of sandalwood, 3 drops of black pepper, and 4 drops of basil. And it's going to be interesting to see how different this one is. Let me go ahead and just get it some in. So it's very more subtle, same scent, but just a subtleness to it. So I'm gonna let that one dry down over here. And now we're going to do our third ratio, which is 60, 30, 30. So that means I'm gonna do 6 drops of my top note, 30 of my, 3 drops of my middle note, 10, or 1 drop of my base note. Okay, well, definitely a different color since the consistency changed. Oh, it smells good. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, now I want to compare my perfume strips and look at their dry down. And let's also take it away. wow, it's just amazing the difference that just a few drops can make. I know you can't smell these, but boy, you should try this at home. Try the different ratios. You'll see there's a huge difference in the color, in the nuances, and it's amazing. Now, I'm just trying to decide which one I like. Now, the blending by note is the technique that we use with our therapeutic blending quite a bit because it is pretty consistent and it's a good balance of the chemicals. But when it comes to fragrance, that's not what we're concerned with. We want to see how we like this as a fragrance. And to be honest with you, I am liking the 40-30-30 ratio. I feel like the 60-30-10 is way too much of the basil. So, of course, we're gonna go, once we get into some other videos, I'm gonna show you how to, you're not gonna be locked into using just one oil for your top note. You can use a combination of them. So that one is way too much. Now, the blending by note has a nice soft balance. But I tell you, this one is the winner for me. The 40-30-30 is a great, nice woody note. So now that I've decided on this one, I'm going to take the carrier. Remember we did in the other video with the jojoba oil, and you can use alcohol if you choose, in that 5 ml. And I'm going to be building this one as one of my accords and put this one away and note this is my woody basil, let's say. And I'll call it my woody basil note. And you can see there's so many different ones you can do that it's just an endless number of combinations here. I could have gone with more of a citrus top note instead of the basil, but I was thinking that this would be for a man's fragrance. So that's why I sort of went with the basil. There are a lot of choices for middle note and for base notes. So anyway, there you can see we have a lot of options in building by our aromatic category. So I hope this was helpful for you in making your own perfumes. Be sure and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, because I'm working on how to build horizontal accords in our next video. So you want to watch that. Bye-bye.